The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought, with it being such a unique thing, that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. On the first visit, Jack took us into his another room, a separate room, and there were these brown parcels full of artwork piled up, and he said to me, "You draw like I do." We were in the studio for 5 hours, you know, it was fantastic, and there's this, he's got this desk, and everything he's ever drawn has come from this desk, and then I would just go with the flow, and that's what this film is about. It's just a unique film of him.
He says, "I beat you." He says, "They say we came in under the dead heat." He says, "That's not true because I beat you." And the American said, "Well," he says, "if you like to think so," he says, "but I know the real story." He says, I know I clearly won that one." Well, Joe is 6'3", and I was a runt, from the Lower East Side. And being Joe's partner was an advantage to me because Joe was believable, you know. They would talk to Joe, and the Goodman brothers would get to know him. Martin Goodman owned Marvel at that time. He went to his mother and he says, "Look, Jackie got a job drawing." He says, "They're paying him part, they're paying him money for drawing." He says, "Suppose I go with Jackie." He says, and he said, "They'll pay me money." He says, "I'll draw and they'll pay me money." He said, "I'll give the money to you," which we did. We gave it all to our mothers. They called me from Nassau. You know, I lived in Long Island. And they say, "Would you like to come down and draw these guys in training?" I swear, this is not a story. And I said, "Yes, of course, I'd love to come down."
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Nothing unusual about a 4 a.m. call to a back alley in downtown Kenton. A young woman lying pristine and unmarked on the cold, hard ground. I get to work quickly, but there's not much to go on here. No marks of any kind, no signs of struggle, just a dead Vic in the middle of an alley. And then there's that. Dead body in a dumpster that looks like a grizzly bear has crawled its way out of his stomach.
The city of prosperity. Riches for some. But for the masses, scraping by is all they can do. Meet Bitna. It's a hard life with an even harder reality. Living in the roughest part of town, it looks impossible to make it big. But maybe she will find it in a simple dress. The Radiant Sight, a new romance story by Martin Fisher.
In a world ravaged by monsters, a new evil has risen, poisoning the land and threatening humanity. Now, the monster Matador, along with the meanest and baddest kaiju killers, have joined forces to kick its ass. Monster Matador, Afropocalypse.
We've crossed paths more than once. I've whispered in your ear, shown you harmless little temptations. I am unknowable, yet you know me intimately. But you can always know me better. Collected here are 20 twisted tales that will thrill, chill, incite, and delight you from some of the most imaginative minds your species has to offer. This exclusive Indiegogo printing of The Devil You Know Better will be limited and numbered, with signatures from Mike Barron and Hart D. Fisher. Stretch goals achieved for this campaign will add interior chapter illustrations by Stefano Cardacelli. The Devil You Know Better. Back it on Indiegogo today, while you still can.
Following broadcast is brought to you in part by
The Madness Comic Network and Comic-Related Madness proudly presents The Show-Offs, featuring Rex the Devil Flyer and Texas Dave Husel. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Hey, yo, we're going to hide behind this banner. Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Welcome.
How's it going, Dave? Hey, Pops.
Hi,
Welcome
Pops.
to the show
Right.
on remote location. Dude,
Oh, boy. Are you on vacation? Are you golfing?
No, I'm house sitting somewhere else, and I had to set all the shows up ahead of time. But I don't have access to my Twitter or my Pops Van Zandt accounts because I'm on somebody else's computer.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be logging them out of their Facebook and having them trying to figure out what their password was so they can get back in. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even know if I remember what my Facebook password is, man.
Looks like a nice house, a nice setting.
Well, yeah, I'm out of the basement. You like that?
Oh, the basement. Yeah, out of the basement. Okay.
They have 3 dogs. You know, I'm like watching them while they're out of town. They went out of town to have a good time for the 4th. And I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Got to take care of the babies.
So I'm hanging out here, but I didn't know who your topic was for today.
Stan the Man Lee.
See, I couldn't put it in the freaking description because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it from here, but when I get home tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll make sure I edit the replay so that people see and know who it is. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Just sometimes, you know, things get overwhelming.
Yeah.
You're doing CromCon 27 from the floor of an actual Comic-Con ranch.
Yeah.
Down in Savannah, Georgia. It looks
What
like
was the most, what were some of the people you met? I mean, that you wanted to meet, or did you see somebody, artists, writers, what?
Well, the only person I actually went to a con and carried books to go get signed, and Walt Simonson.
Oh yeah,
that was the only person I went looking for to get signatures from. That's not saying I don't have a lot.
Yeah,
but that's the only guy I ever went to a con and went, oh, I got to bring these books.
Yeah,
you know, we had and Mike Zack. I did it for Mike Zack too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We took a pile of books to go get Mike. We got the Karate Commandos, the Chuck Norris #1. We got him signed that. Secret Wars #8, you know, a bunch of the Punisher stuff that he did. We kind of took a stack of books to see him too. But that's never been what for me, it was going and looking through them boxes. Them 50-cent boxes. I found some gems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can find some bargains in some of those, you know. Yeah.
I have found some gems. I found a She #2 signed.
Whoa. Well, oh man.
She #2. And I was like, in a 50-cent box.
Yeah.
In a 50-cent box. I was like, dude, are you sure? And he's like, it's in there, it's yours. I was like,
wow. I know a lot of people, you know, I saw something on Twitter or somewhere, a dealer bought a collection out 10 boxes, and without going through it, of course, I guess if there was a key book, a very expensive book in there, it'd say, nah, I can't let that go. But, yeah, I mean, I would never do that, but some dealers do that. They'll buy out boxes and put them out and say everything $1, everything 50 cents or whatever, without even looking and checking. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
some
without
people do
even
that.
looking sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I have to jump into one of the other studios to play my other sponsors thing because I didn't load it in this studio yet for some reason, and I don't have it on this computer. So I'm going to jump out of this studio into which one? Which one has it? Jeez. I'm going to say that one might have it. And we will, yes. No, yes, there it is. Okay, Committed Comics. You guys know. Check it out.
got to get the freak meter in there.
I got to cover my obligations. Love those guys, man.
Yeah.
Thomas over at Committed Comics. Those guys are solid. And yeah, when we set up the show in Savannah, we'll have some sponsor items to give away, maybe some stuff to sell. My usual cameraman at the Comic Cons that I go to, Brad Arney, thinking about joining me. So we'll have a remote cameraman walking around, getting the cosplayers and everything. We'll do the show there. We'll do CromCon from the Florbicon. It'll be crazy. We'll be representing the Madness Comic Network at the World War Hell Dan the Tank Ferret Presents table grouping. We'll be hanging out with Tank and World War Hell Dan, and we'll be promoting what they're doing and promoting what everybody else does. But the format for this con will be a little bit different, a little bit. The daytime, I'm not going to be like signing up people for certain half-hour spots because I'm going to be live at a con talking to people live on the floor. So the online guests will be for the evening slots. If you understand what I'm saying, the second segment from 6 o'clock on, that'll be when we do our usual online thing. So if you're thinking about being part of CromCon this month, you're going to want to grab a evening spot unless you're actually live at Savannah, Georgia, in which case we'll catch you during the day, but it sounds like it's going to be a blast, man. I'm looking forward to it. And now that we know who you guys are going to be talking about, Stan Lee, I can't take it off the wall and show it to you because I'm not at home. But the comic book group that I was a major part of before I started the Madness, they had a raffle, and they had a Thor 442 signed by Stan. Certificate of authenticity, real one with the hologram and all that. It's for real, from a for real place. And it turned out that it was a friend of mine that put it up for the charity. And so, it was like one of those things. There was like 10 minutes left to get a ticket. 10 minutes. And I went to my son. I was like, what do you think, man? You throw $5 at a chance to win a Stan Lee signed book? It's not like we're ever going to get one any other way, right? And he's like, go ahead, buy 2 tickets. I was like, all right. So I went down and we bought 2 tickets, right? And during the stream, they're doing the drawing. And during the stream, right when they were like saying who won, our power went up. So dude was like this. He's like, and he goes, and I was talking to this guy just a little while ago, and yeah, I can't believe it, like that. And I had just been talking to him, right? And then the power went out. So I didn't hear him read the actual name. So I had to wait like an hour before I found out that I won it. I had to wait till the power came back on. And then I was like, dude, did I win that? And he goes, yeah, Pops, you won it. Because I never, I didn't see it actually happen. So it's kind of freaky. But yeah, that's how that one ended up on the wall. And thank you, Christy, for donating that to the charity auction. And, it's pretty odd. Not the same Christy, guys, different Christy. But, still a member of the Madness. And, but one of the people that actually followed me from that group to the Madness right away. Actually. What
did you think about? I mean, were you a Marvel guy primarily? DC, Pops? What?
Oh, yeah.
I know you did underground comics too, but
well, yeah. I mean, it's like I was when I saw Thor on the cover of Defenders 10. I was a mythology guy.
Two things I equate to Stan Lee besides Stan Lee Presents, which was in every Marvel comic. Excelsior.
Yeah.
And Enough Said.
Enough Said, yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
people would look at me like,
Face Front as well.
What was it?
Face Front, I think, was one.
Face Front, True Believers.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Make Mine Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was quite the promoter, wasn't he?
He was a marketing genius.
And his brother, Larry Lieberman, was an artist there at Marvel.
He was.
Of course,
Yeah.
he wasn't born Stan Lee. That was the name that he
Right.
he was a veteran from World War II.
Yeah.
Fought in the war. Fought. I don't know that he fought in the war, but he was in the war effort.
Yeah.
So a veteran.
That's true.
He was, when Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, he actually kind of worked for them at Timely. He was like a gopher at first, sweeping up the floors
right.
and things,
Yeah.
Started out.
It was just
And
helping
then
out,
quickly,
wasn't it?
was related to the owner of the company and quickly climbed the ladder to be editor-in-chief, I guess.
Yeah. I
And
think
then
it was Martin.
later be Jack Kirby and Joe Simon's boss.
Yeah. I think it was Martin Goodman that he worked for, was it?
Yeah.
Goodman?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, see, and I mean, to me, it's like I tried to explain this to somebody else not that long ago. When I was a kid, I didn't look at the names on the books.
Neither did I.
I didn't care who drew it. I didn't care who wrote it. I opened it up, and if that front page grabbed me, I'm probably walking out the store with this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, for me, the first one was Defenders 10 in the 70s. It was.
Is that
Thor,
what Hulk and Thor?
Yeah.
Who's on the cover? Tim?
Thor and Hulk, yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one, man. And I was a mythology guy, so Thor. Hey, Mom, can I get this? What were they, like 25 cents? And wasn't that big deal?
It's like 20 cents then. 20 cents.
She's like, "Are you gonna read it?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." She said, "Well, then get a few of them." Not like I didn't read, but because I was always reading like mythology books.
Get a few of them.
Something else.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
So I grabbed a few other ones, but yeah, I ended up searching because that was the final book in the Evil Eye saga, the crossover between the Avengers and the Defenders. I'm running from spinner rack to spinner rack trying to find back issues of those two runs.
Yeah.
So I could get the whole story.
Right.
So
were you confused? Was it a confusing story, or did you know what was going on?
And it's superheroes, dude. It couldn't be that. I was.
Oh, it can be.
I was familiar with
confusing.
Batman.
I mean, if you're coming in from, I know I was confused on the very first, comics that I read. I was kind of confused about because you come in the middle of a story at the end of a story.
Well, it was at the end, and that's why I had to go find all the back issues and get the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I had to have the whole story. It was like this looked like it was pretty good. Let me go find the rest of these. So
did you find it?
Spinner rack. Oh yeah, it took me about 20 spinner racks in different stores to find I think it's 4 issues of Defenders and 5 issues of Avengers.
That's amazing that they hadn't pulled the back issues where you couldn't get them.
Well, they didn't. They would just get crushed in the back. They would come into the supermarket and they just jam the new ones in front of the old ones, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't get them in good condition if they'd been in there for a couple months.
You're right.
But you could still get the story, and we didn't care about condition then, right?
Right.
We were
Exactly.
kids. We were reading comic books. We didn't give a shit. We didn't know nothing about collecting or none of that. We were just reading comics. And for me, it was really easy. Starting with Defenders versus Avengers, I was a team guy. There's a whole bunch of characters. There's interaction between the good guys. There's a whole bunch of bad guys because teams usually need another team to go fight against, right? So you got the wrecking crew and whatnot. It was fun, man. And Fantastic Four, of course. And then I kind of fell in love with Spidey. Peter Parker was kind of a dork.
Tank.
I kind of fell in love with that. And, certain things have stuck with me. Thor's been my favorite. The Surfer. Love all the Silver Surfer stuff. There just ain't enough of it.
Yeah.
And, of course, Elektra, who, until they watered her down in a stupid movie, was really a badass character.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah. We got Tanky. Tankety Tank. What's up, my friend?
Crazy
Ferret.
talk. Just my kind of talk. Yeah.
This is it. But yeah, man, Marvel was
nerds.
Marvel was really my thing because, like I said, that was where I saw Thor. I saw something I was already interested in. And it didn't matter who was drawing it, and it didn't matter who was writing it. Once I started reading the stories and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is good stuff, you know? And, of course, everybody's mom destroyed their first collection, right? You know, everybody's
Not
mom.
my mother.
Or grandma or something, you know.
No.
I think
my mother was kind of supportive. She did the best she could. She would take
mine was fine until I grew up, and then I didn't need these anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Why did you do that for? And now she's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. My mother would take detergent boxes, which are toxic, you know, with all the chemicals, and slant them off so that I could put them in, you know, like a magazine box.
Right.
And I got to about 11 of those, and she's like, yeah, we need to do something different, you know. So she actually got some back in the 70s, mail ordered some boards and bags. Oh, I saw this thing and got some boards and bags, and eventually some boxes, I guess, and kind of got me started on it. She was real supportive, you know.
That's good.
I like that toy catalog, you know, that Joe Kubert drew in all the time, the Heroes World or whatever it was. I would order things like Ghost Rider on his bike with interchangeable heads, Spidey utility belt with web slingers that were darts, you know.
Right.
Pretty neat.
I was going to say, over here in the UK back in the early 70s, the only place that I could find the American comics was in our local newsagents, and they didn't have a fantastic selection. So I used to go around about 2 or 3 different newsagents that I knew in the area, and believe it or not, they actually had spinner racks here as well. So I had a look round those and managed to find a few back issues, but there was always some I couldn't find to follow the story, so it was hard work.
Yeah.
I've since caught up.
I've done that too, and then sometimes, you know, I mean, spinner racks, it depended on where you were or what they got. I mean, I didn't see X-Men for a long time.
Right.
Never. It was early. Well, I mean, it was 122. I can remember the cover was the first one I saw. I didn't buy it immediately because I thought it was weird. You know, you had a demonic looking Nightcrawler on there, and it just looked a little weird, so I didn't give it a try. And then when I did jump in, it was probably the weirdest story that you could read, but the artwork was so different and things. Where you had the villain that was warping reality and you know, the building falling, you know, bending over and stuff, and Mora Matagget's son. What was his name? Polaris?
I remember.
It was P something. But anyway, I finally jumped in. Loved the John Byrne, Terry Austin work and the writing, you know, Chris Claremont. But I had to find that at a grocery store. You know, my regular either Rexall drugstore or which I like to go in because it had Rex in the name, and then the pharmacy that I went to, Lee's Pharmacy, had a spinner rack, but I never saw X-Men, so there were certain things that you didn't see. Sometimes you'd see odd stuff like Charlton Comics, you know, Captain Canuck.
We see the Dracula, we see a horror movie, a horror comic or two, and some superhero stuff, you know what I mean? And maybe like a Disney or not, you know, like a kid's thing, your brother Disney or Looney Tunes or something. It was like, and do you remember like 7-Elevens used to have?
Well, we never had. This town has never had 7-Eleven, never.
Like Circle K, none of that. No convenience.
No Circle K. Nope. No Slurpee cups that had our heroes on them. You know, I mean, 7-Eleven, I was so envious because they had the hero cups, DC and Marvel, in the early 70s. And I have a whole stack of them now, but I had to buy them on eBay. But,
I say, you got them now, damn it.
I got some of them. Yeah. They made a bunch of those things.
I know.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
When they're like
Yeah.
24 or something?
24.
36 or something?
Oh, they had different series. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
DC and Marvel. And I was always envious. I want to go to a 7-Eleven and get Marvel superheroes on cups, but we never had one.
All right, well, I'm going to let you guys do your show, do your thing. I'm going to get out the way. Who's going first?
Dave's going first.
Am I going first? Okay.
He's been waiting long enough. I can tell his head wanting to
Get Dave in the
explode.
right place, and then I'm
Okay.
going to get out of here. I'm going to put the overlay up. I'll be back here watching. Just let me know when to flip. You know.
Excellent.
Roy Thomas, alter ego in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he started that fanzine. Look at that Buscema work. I think all that's Buscema, isn't it?
I think
And
it is. It says Buscema
Yeah.
Senate. Yeah.
Captain Marvel. Hey, that Werewolf by Night, the first Marvel comic I bought besides this magazine of theirs. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, now he played in the movies, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
He,
Yeah.
he
So this
actually
is
played what was the mailman's name? Willie
Lumpkin.
Willie Lumpkin, yeah, was
Yeah.
the mailman that showed up in Fantastic Four. Hey, Mrs. Good Stuff. Afternoon to you. Yes, you have a happy and safe holiday as well. A retrospective of Stan Lee. Yeah.
1988 interview.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those alter egos. They cover a bevy of topics and subjects and people.
They do. Yeah, it's
And,
nice. It's a nice magazine. This. It's got a variety of pictures and drawings, as you can see there. There's one of Jack Kirby.
Yeah, there's one of Jack Kirby, an artist that he worked with many, many years. Now, who is that?
That's Martin Goodman.
Okay, so that would have been the guy that hired Stan in the first place with Timely Comics.
That's
yeah,
right.
And then they became Atlas, and then they became Marvel.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's that page. Hop over the page for the next ones.
Yeah. Now,
Human
what's that
Torch.
Air Boy doing in there?
Air Boy. What was that?
What's the Air Boy doing in that? That's not really a Marvel book, is it? Or a Timely book? Why is Air Boy in there?
That's a question.
That's kind of strange, because
I think it's
did
just
they
a
publish Air
comparison
Boy?
to
Did they publish in the Air Boy?
I think it's.
I'm not sure who.
I think I know why. It says it's comparing it with the Heap. Also likely Stan's initial inspiration for Man Thing. So I think that's why.
Okay. Yeah, the Heat Cape, which is public domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Flexo. He was kind of a stretchy robot character, something like that.
That's right, because it says the sign of the four.
Okay, I see that they're comparing that with Fawcett's Plastic Man.
That's right.
The Blonde Phantom. Yeah, some of the early heroes of the golden age of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that, like the Fantastic Four, and I think there's the Invisible Man there, right? It was kind of inspiration for maybe Invisible Girl.
That's right. Yes, it was Invisible. I think it's called Invisible Scarlet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. I've got some of her stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and then later, Invisible Girl, that was part of the Fantastic Four. Of course, they had a Human Torch back then.
Yeah, they did.
Android, he wasn't. There's Steve Ditko on the phone.
Yeah,
one of the few, and a cup of coffee. One of the few photos of him. I don't think I've ever seen that photo. There's not very many photos of him. He never signed anything.
He didn't.
He wanted his work to speak for itself. He said that I do you know, if I like it, maybe somebody else will like it.
Yeah.
The Spider, yeah.
Yeah.
And Doc Savage. Of course, the comics really came out of the pulp and the Saturday morning serials, didn't they?
They did, that's right, which is why it's
Yeah.
called Beaten to a Pulp there.
Yeah.
The top
And then
of
is
page.
that Lon Chaney Sr. there, sort of drawn in, Man of 1,000 Faces?
I think it might be.
Yeah. Yeah,
that
and
one?
all his personas, yeah.
Yeah.
Or some of them, I don't know. But yeah, that's a good one. I don't actually have that one in my collection. Fing Fang Foom, yeah.
Fing Fang Foom.
Focus on the pulps, and then of course with Roy Thomas, got to do Conan,
yeah,
the Barbarian, and add that to the Marvel roster in I think 1970. Doctor Strange, another Ditko creation, along with Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And then of course Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The greatest of them all. Okay, Edgar Allan Poe and
Dr. Stanley Martin Lieber Reed.
Yeah. And actually when Marvel Comics took off, of course, he was thinking about getting out of comics.
Yeah.
He'd been in it a while and was tired of writing like romance and monster and wanted to do, get some respect, and
yeah, that's
but
it.
Then Spider-Man and Fantastic Four took off. His wife was a big encouragement on him.
Yeah.
She said, just write it. If you're going to leave anyway, just write it the way you want to write it. And
absolutely.
It was a big hit. So he stayed with comics, which is amazing,
It certainly is.
And I hope he enjoyed the time,
Yeah.
I think he did.
I think he did.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you.
It must have been in his blood. He probably didn't want to leave, but he was just tired of. And at that time, Marvel.
Pops.
Did you know, Dave, that DC controlled Marvel's distribution?
Yes, I did read that.
Marvel was only allowed at first 8 titles.
Yeah.
And that's why, they didn't change. They'd put Captain America in like Tales of Suspense, which later with number 100 became Captain America. They never changed titles because they were only allowed so many titles.
Yeah. So you can see the black and white picture on the left or the right, whichever way around I am. And the color version there.
Okay, and that's the great John Buscema that you showed us. Yep.
Yeah.
Now he wrote. Now they did a book together, a little book called Marvel, Making Comics the Marvel Way.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Mine's a reproduction of it, I think. There's another photo stand there.
Now he really made the letter page, with Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk.
Yeah.
He was instrumental getting, Marvel heroes on TV, getting them in the movies. He always pushed for that, and I'm glad that he lived long enough to see that happen and actually star and make cameos.
Yeah.
And like you showed a picture, get a block on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Out there at Grauman's Chinese Theater. I think
another very young Stan Lee for you there, Rex.
Yeah, now he would also do like films for college and just different films. There's films out there about him talking about writing, talking about comics, talking about subjects that mattered to him.
Yeah.
The greater society and how we kind of interact together.
That's right.
He really was a philanthropist in his own right, in his mind.
He was indeed. Vince
Of course,
Coletta
he
there.
got to work with Gene Colan and Gil Kane and John Buscema and Sal Buscema, his brother, and Larry Lieber, his own brother, and Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby and Joe Simon and Chris Claremont and, all the greats.
Absolutely.
I'm leaving out a bunch of greats. There's a bunch of greats out there, but they're few and far between today.
That's true.
These people had seen life. They had experienced it. They were working for a page rate. And of course, there was some friction at times. There was friction between Jack Kirby getting his art back, Stan Lee, and things, and controversy. And, I think Stan took a knock for that, in the public eye. But he was kind of an ambassador for comics all the way around, wasn't he?
He was, I must admit. There's a nice black and white photo there of Stan and his wife, too.
Yeah. Now, there's a story about that I probably shouldn't tell. I could. That's the earliest picture I've seen of her.
1947, I think that is. Yeah.
The story I heard is that she was married to another man. Stan met her and said, "You're going to marry me," and she left him and married him.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that.
That's pretty wild. I didn't want to say that, but I guess it's public knowledge.
I like that drawing.
And they were married for life. They were married for a long time, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
Russ Heath, it says there.
Russ Heath, yeah, another great.
Yeah.
Another great artist.
It's a good magazine, this, right?
Smash that like button, as it says down there, and share the stream.
Yep. There you go.
Now, Stan Lee didn't create Captain America, but he sure sold a lot of Captain America books.
He did.
His first character was the Destroyer. Remember the Destroyer with the striped pants from the Golden Age?
I think I do.
That was his first.
This is an article on the British invasion, Rex.
Oh, now that must be interesting. Look at that Treasury edition. Yeah.
Well, that's
love those Treasury editions because they were so big. They usually had good content, and they were $1.50, as I remember, which was a lot of money. Which was a lot of money, but it was worth it.
Well, this is the very first issue of Mighty World of Marvel that was published in the UK.
Okay.
1972.
And how much did it go for? Five pence?
5p.
5p. Is that 5 pence?
5 new pence, yeah.
5
and
new pence.
You got a free green-skinned monster T-shirt transfer.
Really?
Really?
That's cool. Along with the Treasury?
No. This was a British reprint of the American comics.
Right.
So that was a later issue. That was another Mighty World of Marvel a bit later on.
Yeah, they kind of had stranger combinations and stuff. I mean, the Marvel UK books are pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that's the inside front page of the first issue of Mighty World of Marvel. It was in green, black, and white.
Wow. Okay, so they switched it, in which he was gray in the.
He was
in the Americas, but they kind of changed it since it was the later reprint.
And that was the back cover of the first issue that was in color.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And you've got.
Yeah, you had Stam's soapbox, didn't you? The letters page.
That's right.
Yeah. He kind of drew in the fans, didn't he, with stuff like that?
He did. And then we have a couple of Captain Britain examples there.
Yeah, now those are like magazine and non-glossy covers, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. They were.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can't spell color correctly like we do, but, you know, you have to
Yeah,
put that U in there.
absolutely. Just
Yeah.
to confuse matters. Because what they used to do, by the way, Rex, is in these stories, some of the spellings they used to change.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
so they changed them from the American spellings to the
Yeah.
British spellings. You know.
Yeah, I guess, and they, you know, that was something else. You know, you got Marvel magazines put out around the world in different languages,
Yeah.
and then I mean, some of the early cosplay stuff. You know, they actually employed people to wear the Hulk outfit and Spider
That's right.
outfit,
And that
and
was a queue at Forbidden Planet in
and
in
the Marvel bullpen was a big
Scotland.
thing.
Yeah. Sorry?
The Marvel bullpen was a big thing that featured in the comics.
Yeah.
Where they took you behind the scenes and showed you how the comics were made. That was genius, wasn't it?
It was.
And at the same time, DC was doing none of that.
That's right.
They were just doing their comics.
Yeah.
And yet I think Marvel quickly shook them off. And then, of course, they increased their rosters of book, got even more exposure, and kind of overtook the market in the 60s and for the 60s for sure.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they got the first cartoons out. In 1966, they put out the Marvel cartoons, and
that's right.
And then later Spider-Man and Fantastic Four for the very first time. So that even gave them greater exposure, didn't it?
It did indeed. I'm going to pass you over to the big picture now, Rex, and you can show me one or two of your pieces.
All right. Well, what I was showing Pops, you know, I showed you Jack Kirby when we started the Rex and Dave show. Why he put my name first, I don't know. You were here first, but anyway, the Stan Lee bust. This is the special bronze one. Edition. It is. Let's see, 183.
Let me answer that question.
Well, let me finish my sentence first. only 500 made. Only 500 in the world. Okay, now, Pop.
Nice.
The reason I put your name first is because you actually have a YouTube presence and a channel of your own and whatnot. And Dave is kind of like just a CromCon celeb.
Okay, and my name's short too. 3 letters. Can't beat that.
It is short. Yeah.
Now here's a big.
I mean, when you come down to what you guys show off, you guys both represent yourselves well, so it doesn't matter who's.
Oh yeah. We're professionals around here. You
Absolutely.
Marvel Comics presents Fantastic First. These are the big volumes they're coming out with now. Of reprinted like first appearances of characters. I think this is a Bruce Timm cover. Just all those characters there that Stan worked on. Of course, Stan Lee did some DC stuff too. Here's a couple examples with his friend, you know, drawing the Marvel way, John Buscema. What if, you know, not what if, but just imagine Stan Lee's Superman. This is with John Buscema creating Superman. You know, what would Superman look if Stan Lee did it? Of course, that's kind of a cheat because Superman's been out forever, and it's not like we asked him to do stuff like this in the 60s. This is later after he's kind of thought about it, but just imagine Stan Lee. There's a signature, famous signature there. What if he, you know, I want to say what if, but it's just imagine. Imagine his Wonder Woman.
It's kind of similar though between Just Imagine and What If in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is similar. And then of course, you know, his most famous I have plans to actually do an homage, a tribute cover to this one. That's why I have it here. his most popular character with
Yeah.
great villains like Kingpin and Doc Ock and
Yeah.
and the Lizard and Doctor Doom. Probably the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Of villains. But I mean, like Pop said, he was a marketing guy. I mean, here's a candy dispenser, like one of those lick rods or whatever I
Yeah.
don't know what to call it. But I mean, just a host. These are the Tootsie. I don't know what they're called, but there's the Lizard that we just saw,
Right.
and just like a little plushie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, both in his black and in candy dispensers. These are clicks, which are kind of similar. They have the Smarty candies instead of like the Pez.
Yeah.
But there's Pez Pez Marvel stuff too. Here's something that survived my fire. I did suffer a fire and burn up my collection, but there were a few things like this I had in my studio at the time. The little early 80s like TSR gaming, pewter figures of the Marvel characters.
Right.
I think from
Haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we played that game. That was the first kind of role playing games I ever played. Was that Marvel game right there?
Oh wow! And then have the little pewter figures with them, and then bobbleheads. And the Beast, my favorite character, that came out of the Avengers. Always got to get him in. Little gaming pieces like this. I forget what these are called. Big hand swipe, and then even diecast figures that they came out with. His arms even move on this one. But just they marketed the heck, like little. This is a custom painted that I bought. Somebody had it and put their initials, their CP on it. I didn't mind. It's the original green and white costume to Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Little clicks, they call them. This might have been like Burger King or McDonald's toy or something, the Thing. I know he says something because he's got speaker on his back.
Oh, yeah.
It's clobbering time, He came up with great phrases like that. Spider-Man, of course, figures, PVC figures. I mean, die-cast vehicles. Here's Spider-Man Jet that Misto did. And then, of course, conventions were a big thing. Here's a convention, early New York convention with the Marvel characters on them. He was instrumental in going and working with conventions and pushing Marvel that way. And, toy action figures, of course. When it come to marketing, it was, cups. Here's the old X-Men cup. Everything. They've done it all, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
They've just done it all. What else you got to show us, Dave?
Well, I've just got something on the way. I think it's just about to arrive in 1 second.
Oh my! Get the rolling in.
Here we go. How about that?
Now, is that a porcelain?
It's I think it is. It's
okay, because they
solid.
make porcelain and resin. Are they? That's real cloth webbing under his arm, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah, I love it when they put the webbing under the arms,
like that.
The way Ditko originally had it.
Yeah, quite nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and especially the web shooter. It looks like they might have real webbing coming out there. Yeah.
I tip it down a bit.
I ain't jealous. Ain't.
No doubt. That's nice. Ain't jealous.
Yeah, it's quite nice, that. So my next book Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't seen that. That's wonderful. Is
Right,
it padded
okay.
hardback?
It is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a padded hardback.
Yeah, I love that cover. The character and the characters in their universe. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Ooh, I might have to get that one.
I'll just open this one up and let you have a little peek inside. Got a nice Spider-Man drawing there,
Oh yeah.
just on a black background.
Yeah.
And a slightly larger one there.
Well, I'll say this: you have the largest volumes and heaviest volumes.
I seem to do, don't I?
Yeah, they're big books. Yeah. Yep. Iconic. That's John Romita Jr. artwork, I believe. I mean, senior artwork.
Yeah,
Yeah. Been used again and again and again.
it has indeed.
That was genius too, using images again and again and again, you know, putting like the heads on there, not just on one issue, but several. Yeah, that's where
That's it.
Submariner makes his appearance and gets a shave by the
That's right.
Human Torch and dropped into the water, and then he teams up with Doctor Doom later. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's quite a heavy book, is this one?
Yep. I can imagine. Red Raven. Now that was an early timely hero.
Yeah.
And the Angel was another one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's that one.
You know, Stan talked about going to parties and, well, what do you do for a living? He says, I'm a writer. Oh, what do you write? Well, I write fiction. You know, I write, you know, when he would say comics, they would walk away like, oh, comics just didn't get any love. What was the overall sentiment in the UK? Are they, because in Europe, they're looked at as a little bit higher art form, aren't they?
Yeah, slightly, but not a great deal, because a lot of people, like in the UK, were just reading the comedy comics like the Dandy and the Beano and comics like that.
My grandmother called them, and so did a lot of people, the funnies.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, to go back to that page, we have to talk about the authority code, right?
Yeah.
The authority code came in was sort of self-inflicted by the comic industry, you know, approved by the Comics Code Authority. They would put that on all the covers after they had congressional hearings. The comics contributed to delinquency.
And
now,
did you realize, by the way, Rex, that in one issue of Captain Marvel, the sign said approved by the Cosmic Code Authority?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I know Stan Lee, about a decade later in the 60s, would throw that out with a drug story at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It didn't get approved, but they published it anyway.
It's nice to see some black and white photos as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's Marie Severin there, standing there. Yeah, she was a great artist for Marvel. One of the few female artists that worked in comics. She actually worked at DC Comics, was a colorist. Yeah. And then, I mean, you had, what was it? Son of the different books that he read, because I did get some of those at the pharmacy.
Yeah. Yeah, there was Son of Origins.
Son of Origins, and then and Origins, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Brand Eck. Yeah, that was the great thing about Marvel. They spoofed comics, didn't they?
They did.
Mad Magazine, like they had Crack. Yeah. Crazy, Cracked. Yeah.
That's right.
Bigger's not always better, is it? I mean, that just gets heavy. I mean, it's nice to see these things in large images, but
yeah.
Oh, and I've got some of those, the little plastic figures that came out in the 60s, and the Mego dolls. with the real cloth clothing. Yeah. And I actually had that Wolverine there with black claws, and then they reissued him with silver claws very quickly. Yep. In my Dr. Doom Halloween suit, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would and then models. Yeah. I don't know what that Hulk thing is, but
It's soap.
Oh, it's soap. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Hulk soap.
I have a Spider-Man sprinkler. You hook your hose up to it, and its web shooters shoot out water.
Ah, right. Okay.
So if you want to water your lawn, toilet paper.
Yeah.
and the cartoons are printed on the paper, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Wipe your tushy with the Incredible Hulk or Spider-Man.
Well, there's all sorts, isn't there?
You're going to have to remember to take your watch off when you go on holiday, Dave. That really kind of put a band around your arm there, you know?
I know. You're not wrong.
Yeah, not many people wear watches anymore. That's pretty sad.
Well,
they use their phones.
I've always worn a watch.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And Don Heck. We'll have to cover Don Heck sometime. Do you have something on Don Heck?
Yeah, I'm sure I can find one or two things, Rex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we do Don Heck next week?
We can do.
Okay. Yes. And a lot of those panels were just made into cartoons.
Yeah.
George Tuska, another great artist. Yeah, we'll have to revisit John Byrne at some point because you got to miss out on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do.
Well, if you don't show up, Dave, what can I say? You're going to miss out on some goodness. That's all right. You take all the holidays. You well deserve retirement. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any more holidays for a couple of months, so we're all right.
Okay. So
we're not doing too bad.
The final chapter. Yes. That was it's Spidey trapped, and he has to summon up the intestinal fortitude. Out of all Spider-Man's villains, what's your favorite villain, you think? Was it Green Goblin, Doc Ock?
I would probably say the Vulture.
The Vulture. Okay. I don't know that a lot of people would say the Vulture, but he was a good one. Yeah.
Oh.
Made his appearance, I think, in Amazing Spider-Man #2.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a classic.
Oh, it is. Yeah, by
classic
Ramita.
Story, isn't it?
Yeah. Throw it in the trash.
And then the smaller one there.
There's been other tribute. Of course, he liked Betty Bryant, and then he liked Gwen Stacy. Yeah. Then he liked Mary Jane.
That's it.
He was just a ladies' man, wasn't he? No, not really.
How's that?
That looks like Sal Buscema work there.
Yeah, let's see if I can find out. Let's have a look. It doesn't actually say, I don't think. It says Stanley, Steve Ditko, John Romita Sr., Soul and Inspiration. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I think it is Sal Buscema, that, though. I think it is.
I'm pretty good.
You are.
I'm pretty good at identifying artists.
This book is starting to get heavy.
Okay, well, I can show a few other things, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll just finish off with this one for now.
Okay.
Where's that?
I've got Marvel stuff all over the place.
Right.
I'm going to say my favorite Spider-Man villain would be Kraven the Hunter, followed closely by the Kingpin.
Right. I'm getting my arm back in circulation.
Yeah, get that circulation going on.
Yeah.
Herbie the Robot Remember him?
I do.
Yeah. From
I
the
do remember
Fantastic
him.
Four, the cartoon, and then he was in the comics.
He was for a while, yeah.
And it might have been George Perez that first drew him in the Fantastic Four. I don't know. I can't remember who drew that particular issue, but he was kind of like a fifth member of the Fantastic Four. A friend of mine gave me this, my good friend. This is, it's not dated, but it, has the Marvel copyright on the back of it. I love this because this is a throwback to something you'd see like in the 60s.
Yeah.
Crudely made. This is actually to put in the bottom of your aquarium with the fish.
Right.
So that he can stomp around and scare the fish. But I just like that it's kind of crudely made, crudely painted.
It also looks a bit translucent as well, Rex.
Translucent, yeah.
Yeah.
And, to be in the aquarium under the lighting. I love that. He actually found a couple of these at Walmart, kept one and gave one to me. I just love that when you look at the early Marvel commercial stuff that came out, it was kind of crude like this.
Yeah.
Of course, Marvel value stamps. That was genius. Speaking of Pez, here's, more recent edition when T'Challa with Black Panther, great Pez dispensers. They've been making, I'd have to think, what was the first Marvel character done by Pez? I'm not sure. Probably Spider-Man. I mean, he's just everywhere.
Sure.
We looked, your book had little figures. Here's like a thing figure, and he's kind of translucent too. My daughter called him Rock Man. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when she was younger. Yeah. And then, here's a great one up here. These just come out of like vending machines. The thing, it's all in a circle, and the body's in it, and the head, and then you take it apart and put the body on and snap the head back together. And you have it. Now Marvel and DC did those. Here's a Batman one. I don't know that. Well, now Stan Lee and speaking of Batman, he actually did a letter congratulating Batman for turning 500 issues in Detective Comics. There's actually a letter by Stan Lee, one of the few times that he wrote in a DC thing. Here's another thing figure, because he's one of my favorites, and then also drinks. Here's the top to one of those kids drinks that you have. And I had to show you probably the greatest villain, or one of Dr. Doom bobblehead. Do you want to conquer the world? Yes. No. But I mean, he really did market a lot of stuff, didn't he? I mean, the seeds he sowed grew out. What, trading cards and in magazines. Characters in magazines.
I've got that issue, I think, Rex. Yeah.
Do you? Comic book artist, yeah.
I recognize it.
That's where I got started was up there, Vampire Tales, because I was more of a monster. I don't want to say more of a monster kid, but I love monsters. As I kind of matured, I wanted to see all the old classic movies and stuff. And Marvel was into horror in the early 70s.
They were, they had a few different magazines, didn't they? But like the black and white magazines.
Zombie and Dracula, and then of course Gene Colan that we were talking about last week. Dracula, the Tomb of Dracula, ran 70 something issues, 71, something like that.
Yeah, it was a fair few.
Very popular for many years.
It was.
And my first comic was Werewolf by Night, which didn't really interact a lot with the Marvel universe, but the last 2 issues of it had Iron Man in there, and of course Moon Knight made his first appearance.
He did
in that, so had at least had that. And I've read every one of those in the Marvel Essential reprint books. But it's I can't say that. I wish it would have interacted with more of the Marvel characters, because they were kind of writing kind of cloistered. Okay, here's Dr. Moonlight, or I don't know, just different strange things. I wish it would have interacted more with like Iron Man and Frankenstein, because Frankenstein Monster was another one.
Yes, it was.
And you had like, a Heap knockoff, right? And maybe a Swamp Thing knockoff. You had Man Thing. Which was definitely, I think, Heap inspired with the long root. And then, of course, they gave him 3 roots where the Heap only had 1 root. But they were really into the monster thing. In fact, there's a lot of, and Atlas was too before it became Marvel. In fact, some people think that Stan hedged his bet by putting the Thing in the Fantastic Four because he's a monster.
Yeah, exactly.
For all practical purposes, he's a monster. So he was kind of hedging his bets there. And he became almost iconic with Jack Kirby, as a different persona for him, smoking a cigar.
That's right.
Jack Kirby smoked a cigar for many years till Roz, his wife, had him smoke a pipe later in life. But up to that time, he smoked for decades a cigar. Always had a big old cigar, probably on the convention's floor smoking a cigar. You couldn't do that today.
No, because in an early Fantastic Four, I think Reed Richards is actually smoking a cigar at the start of the first.
Oh, well, he smoked a pipe.
A pipe, sorry.
Yeah, it was almost like Leave It to Beaver with Ward Cleaver. You come home from home, the wife would give you your slippers, your pipe, and the paper, and you sit down, relax, and I'll make the dinner, because you've been out hard working. We don't see that in society anymore.
No.
Yeah, things have changed, haven't they? And men used to wear hats in the 60s. Not caps, but actually like fedora hats. Yeah. And that's probably the last time you saw hats.
Yeah. This is a lighter book, Rex. So
okay, switch over to Dave here. What have we got? Oh, pinups. Yeah, Steve Ditko cover. 60 years of Marvel when that came out. 80 years.
80 years of Marvel.
Yeah.
That's the back cover.
Yeah. The Thing. Yeah. Now, I bet you Chick Stone probably inked that.
So this is the inside front cover.
Panorama, yeah. The Pogo Plane.
Yeah.
The Baxter Building in the background. That was the great thing. He gave them a setting. They were set in New York. I like that. They were different than DC. He set it in real places.
Well, that's it.
Like, California or New York. But DC, they had Metropolis and Gotham City. They were made up imaginary.
That's it.
And this artwork by Buscema, I think, was probably featured in a calendar. They did calendars for many, many years.
That's right.
They still do calendars.
Yeah. So let's have a
That's
look
a nice
in here.
little hardback.
It's a hardback, yeah.
Yeah. And is that just featuring pinup artwork that they've done through the years?
Yeah.
Okay. Stan Lee with 6 arms like Spidey had for a while.
Yeah.
Smiling Stan Lee. Yep.
That's it.
That was the thing. He in the, like we talked about last week, Adam Austin. Or Jolly John Ramita.
Yeah.
Or Smiling Stan. He would give people names, wouldn't he? Mary, yeah, I like that from Ditko. They actually, yep, nice little annual pin up there, Spotty. Yep. Now I actually had those two. Well, yeah, I had those two pieces as production artwork.
Right.
Those were really nice.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I had Mr. Fantastic. I don't think I ever had Invisible Girl, but I had those three. And so
this is one where you've got the original art on one side and the completed page on the other.
It's amazing that any of that original art survives because it was just shredded and destroyed. Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Nobody ever thought it'd be valuable.
No.
That's a wonderful book there, showing you all the different pinups.
It is. It's a nice book.
Kind of bonus pinups. Did DC do the same thing? I'm not sure. I had that Fantastic Four grouping too as a production artwork.
I don't think they did, you know.
Yeah. That was genius to do pinups.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my first comic, I'm going to have a couple pinups. And it all goes back to that stuff. I think there were some Golden Age pinups and stuff, but he incorporated it all, didn't he?
Well, that's it.
Yeah. Even lesser known characters like Cargo. He was in the Fantastic Four and the Puppet Master cartoons.
Right. Well, it also tells you the first appearances as well, so that's quite good.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, Impossible Man. I think he was Fantastic Four 11, wasn't he? Or
FF11, it says there, I think.
Yeah. And the first time I read that story was in a big Marvel Treasury edition.
Right. Couple more for you.
Red Ghost, one of my favorites, made his first Fantastic Four first appearance ever in number 13.
Yeah.
Red Ghost, which was Russian, trying to reach the moon before the Americans.
That's
Had
right.
a transparent rocket and got pelted by cosmic rays. And, yep. Paste Pot Pete. That's Pepper.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts, yeah.
Pepper Potts pin-up page.
He always did like, Peter Parker, PP, Bruce Banner, BB.
That's
and the reason he did that, it was memorable to people.
Well, yeah.
That's what
he said. It was also easier to remember names.
Easier to remember. That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Reed Richards, RR.
Yeah. And Susan Storm, SS.
Yeah, exactly. You're one of your favorite characters, the Vulture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Octopus. I think the first classic was probably Dr. Octopus that I saw.
Yeah.
But the first one I read had the Jackal, which came later.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom and the Lizard. Yeah, you got to love the Lizard.
Yeah.
Dr. Connors.
Yeah.
Lost his arm, trying to rejuvenate tissue, turns himself into a lizard.
That's it.
Electro, yeah, the living brain. We don't really hear from the living brain anymore.
No, not a lot.
Yeah.
Couple more for you.
Mysterio, the Enforcers, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how many villains sort of appeared in the early Spider-Man comics as well.
Yeah, Kraven the Hunter, the Green Goblin, making his first appearance in number 14.
Yeah, that's the one.
You can check me on these. I'm right.
Oh, I am checking you out. Don't you worry. I'm keeping you right, Rex.
Now, that's a Jack Kirby drawn Spidey, is it not?
No, Steve Ditko.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
He looks a little blocky, like Kirby would do.
Yeah, Steve Ditko and Steve Ditko on that one as well.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
much like his Hulk. His
No.
Hulk kind of looked weird, in the first 6 issues of Hulk where Ditko did him.
We're back on Jack Kirby for
Oh, I
Leaf.
love
Right?
Ramatut, yeah, which is an
Yeah.
early incarnation of Doctor Doom.
That's right.
Super Skrull, yeah.
Yeah.
Super Skrull was in one of those Fantastic Four cartoons. Hate Monger, which was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
The original, and Molecule Man, of course, he made his appearance in the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if they did a Hate Monger. I know they did Galactus.
Yeah.
Diablo, now he was in there. The Terrible Infant, yeah.
Yeah. The Infant
Early
Terrible.
Fantastic Four. They did a lot of pinups in Fantastic Four because it was probably one of their most popular titles, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had the production artwork to that Sue Storm piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. At one time. Sold them very quickly. Oh, and I had that Human Torch piece too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a metal detector there, doesn't he? The thing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
We've got a black and white original and a color.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm, and then later got with Human Torch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That was a switch. After
one
so many years of being with Ben.
I've got one for Pops there, another Thor.
The mighty Thunder, mighty Thor. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do love Thor. I ain't gonna lie.
The Beast.
One for you, Rex. The Beast.
Yeah, the Beast. And when I first, it was the hairy Beast. I didn't even know. And then I remember Avengers, they were talking about the Beast in the X-Men years. And I was like, what's this? What are they talking about? Because I didn't even know about the X-Men.
It's 4th of July Eve. Don't forget to leave out cookies and milk for Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it is the 4th of July today, isn't it?
Just look how many of those pinups were done by Jack Kirby.
It's
quite a few. Quite a few.
4th is tomorrow, Dave. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. Couple more.
Daredevil. Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. Fantastic Four on Yancey Street. I think I had that production piece at one time.
I love Yancey Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sort of a humiliating.
Marvel, another Marvel girl before and after drawing.
Yep, levitating things, had mental powers.
There's another one. Couple more.
Giant Man, and that's definitely Don Heck Iron Man.
Yeah.
Ripping a steel girder apart.
That is definitely Don
Look
Heck.
at the power. That's when he had the rivets on his helmet.
Yeah.
The bolts.
That's right.
Yeah. Peter Parker, old Webhead.
Yeah.
He was always prescribing like nicknames for things, wasn't he? Like Webhead.
He was.
Or Spidey.
Yeah.
That was something that you didn't see at DC.
That's it.
That's probably a Wally Wood drawn Namor.
Says Steve Ditko there. Oh, sorry, the other side. Yeah, Wally Wood. Yeah, sorry.
I said Namor.
Namor.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, Wally Wood worked on the early Daredevil.
Yeah.
After Bill Everett started it off.
That's it.
Steve Ditko all the way around there.
Yeah.
The Scorpion. Ooh, the tail. The tail.
Couple more.
The Beetle. Now he has to be pretty strange, huh?
Yeah.
Of course, they redesigned him, but
oh, that's it. And
Jonah's
robot.
Yep. He was always trying to take out Spider-Man, the Menace.
He was.
Love that Hercules design.
Yeah.
Don't know why you'd ever change that. orange.
that was really good, wasn't it? That.
And he had the mace. Now that's Don
Yeah.
Heck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It certainly is.
Yep.
Couple more there for you.
Yep. Some more Don Heck artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Early, I mean, point out for people on that page, Black Widow, the way she looked originally.
Yeah, that's
Not
the
the
way she
Marvel
looked
movie. That's the way
originally.
she looked originally.
That's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Blue costume, blue and black costume. Yep.
Blue black.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she
With a
used to look.
bouffant hairdo.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just cry Russian spy to you?
It does actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that dick go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Master of the mystic arts. He would give them, titles like that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Matt,
I like these two pages with Gene Colan.
Gene Colan, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're really high on Gene Colan, aren't you?
Yeah, I just like his artwork.
That's Karen Page and Matt Murdock, right? AKA Daredevil.
That's right.
Yeah. Of course, Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer.
Yeah.
And Foggy, right?
Yeah.
Foggy Nelson.
That's it.
His sidekick.
Yeah. Foggy Nelson.
Now, Karen Page, they made her into a drug abuser and she died. OD'd.
I believe so.
Isn't that pretty sad? Take a great care.
Yes,
Kazar. Now, Kazar goes all the way back to Timely.
Yeah.
Probably one of the longest running in Daredevil there by Gene Colan.
Yeah. Couple more for you.
You like those cinematic? Oh, I love the Gladiator. Actually, the first Gladiator was in Daredevil with Frank Miller artwork. That's introduced me. But he's one of my favorite villains. And Leapfrog,
DD-18.
the mighty Leapfrog with spring shoes.
Yeah.
That always went up against. Now, okay. Wait a minute. Test me. Did Don Heck draw the Gladiator?
No, that was Gene Colan and John.
Gene Colan? Okay, now I know Leapfrog is.
And John Tartilagio. Oh dear.
Yeah, he was the inker.
Daredevil annual number 1.
I never can say his name either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta love Gladiator, man. He's vicious looking.
And on the other side, it's Gene Colan, as you rightly say.
Another one of mine was that had buzz saws on his wrist was Whirlwind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Owl. Yes. And then who's that on the other side? The Mass Marauder. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Daredevil villains in this.
Yeah.
So they must did a lot of pinups in Daredevil.
Yeah, I think they did over there.
Were you a reader of Daredevil?
Yeah.
Now that black boat there, I believe they made in the 70s into a blacklight poster.
Yeah.
With some fluorescent colors.
They did. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'd pick those up at fairs and carnivals if you won a prize.
That's it.
Yeah, Medusa, all the Inhumans, Karnak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karate Chop.
Karnak the Shatterer. It says there.
The Shatterer.
Shatterer.
Yeah.
And then of course we have.
I think I saw those in concert one time. Trident. Yeah.
And Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal. Now she was with Human Torch for a long time.
She was indeed. Yeah.
His girlfriend.
That's right.
Galactus and Watcher. You gotta love those. Yeah. And Maximus the Mad, which was Black Bolt's brother.
That's right.
From the Inhumans. He was always causing them trouble. And Doom there. Dr. Doom in the corner.
That's right.
Didn't see him at first. Okay, there's J. Jonah Jameson and Betty Bryant and Robbie, was it Robbie Robinson?
Yeah, it was.
See, there's an RR or J. Jonah Jameson or Betty Bryant.
Yeah, BB.
Yeah, A, B, B, C, C.
Yeah.
CC, senor. See what I did there?
I did. I noticed that. Now, this drawing of Medusa was by Barry Smith.
Okay, I was wondering. Yeah, probably in his. And then how about, is that Bill Everett?
It is Bill Everett, yeah.
Okay. Early.
Yeah.
Early character for Timely. Namor. Yeah. Now I may still have the production. Oh, I definitely have the production. That was the back cover to the Bicentennial Battles. Captain America back with the 200-year cake and Uncle Sam, and then him as a revolutionary. I may still have those two pieces. I know I do the back cover piece. Nobody wants to pay my price for it. And I had that one, and I sold it. Yeah, where he was in like a Western, a little bit reimagining. Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby artwork throughout the whole thing, that Treasury edition.
Couple more for you there.
Oh, yeah, that's John Byrne.
Yeah, you're spot on again, Rex.
Yes.
John Byrne for both of those pages.
Uh-huh.
And a couple more for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, John Byrne. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a couple more.
Oh, yeah, I love that one. The Thing.
Yeah.
Raging at the sky.
Quite good, isn't it? Right. Over to you.
Well, that's about it for me. I've got to get ready for my show.
Okay.
Yeah. Having Vic King on today, and actually he'll be showing all the commission stuff that he's done, except for one piece. That's a spoiler. We're going to hold that piece back. But other than that, he's got, a couple trading cards he's done for me.
Tell him to show off the dank dealer.
Okay. If he can find it in the stack. Yeah. He was supposed to come on yesterday and didn't, but that's okay. We'll have him on today. He'll be showing all the stuff that I've commissioned him to do. All of my characters, Devil Flyer, Innerman, Sea Demon, the Bog, all. He'll be drawing too. So
cool.
Yeah. And if I Dank Dealer.
Right.
Yeah.
So come check it out at 4:00 Central, just here in a few minutes, over on my channel, The Devil Flyer.
Yep.
Very good.
Hope to see you there.
I hope you have a good show, Rex.
Getting to see all that artwork he's done for me, about 25 pieces or more.
Right.
Yep. And I'm going to commission him to do some more too. He's working on a couple stories for me now. So it's coming together pretty good. And then, of course, another friend of the channel here, Doc Blalock. He's about more than 80% done on a story that's going to be in Devil Flyer, Grave Tales.
Yeah, I saw him on your show a couple of nights back, Rex.
Yeah, he came on and talked about Pariah, Blood and Mud, his own book that he's kind of set aside to do this story together with me. So and it's coming along nicely.
Good.
So hopefully that'll be done fairly soon. I love putting the people to work, working on my characters.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember? I had planned to do a cover, the Marvel 25th anniversary character border. John Romita Jr. I'm going to do that with my characters.
Right.
So that's going to be a cover that'll be worked on here pretty soon by someone. Maybe I'll have Dillard do it. I don't know.
Hey. Well, gentlemen, as always, it was awesome. I will see you next week, if not sooner, because we do this all the time. So
treat those babies well.
Yeah,
dude, we're having fun. Having fun.
Dave, do you have? I meant to ask you. Do you have a pet?
Yes, you have seen my cat's tail many a time.
Oh, that's right. The tentacle. I thought it was an
know,
octopus.
well,
didn't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, the tail that kind of gets in the way of the screen
Uh-huh.
sometimes.
How long have you had your cat?
We'll let one out and one in. 'Cause we got one in the backyard.
About I think it's coming up for about 7 years now that she's been here.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Bring a lot of joy to your life. doesn't it?
She does. She keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. You'd
Yeah.
throw me out of the house if I left hair everywhere, but no.
No, that's it. That's it. It's,
That cat can chew and rub up against anything it wants.
yeah. Cat hair everywhere.
Cat hair everywhere.
He ain't even gonna let us in the house, bro. You know how that works.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sticky fingers.
No,
No,
we
not
just,
at all.
you know, we
Ooh,
read
look
all
at
this
that.
comic.
Ooh.
Yeah, we read all this comic.
Yeah. You'll have to go put that porcelain in, back on its
Yeah.
pedestal.
I'm going to put this back. I'll just let you have a look at it one more time.
Yeah, that's great.
Put it
Yeah.
away.
With the webbing. Yep.
There's that.
Very nice.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Look out.
That's it.
Here comes the Spider-Man. Gotta love that.
That's the base of it.
Oh, yeah. I guess numbered, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
2,700, 599. 99.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do Don Heck next year. Next year.
Next year.
How about
You mean next week?
How about next week?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Why not? Okay.
Remind me so I make sure I get it in the description. And remind me when I'm back at home tomorrow or next day to edit the YouTube channel so it represents what you guys were actually talking about.
Yeah, for
Okay.
Stan Lee, yeah.
Well, Pops, thanks again. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Dave, take care.
Okay. I'll
And
see
go
you
check
next
out
time.
Comic Books for Kids, yo.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.